Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? We back at it, man. Sorry, but not sorry. Boxing talk with CamJNetwork, man. We back in full effect in the flesh, man. Whoo wee! It's Good Friday, man. Beautiful day here in Cincinnati today. Beautiful day in Cincinnati, Ohio, man. Definitely happy about this Friday. Hope everybody Friday is starting off well. Man, we got a lot to cook up on, man. There's been a lot happening over the last 24 hours, man. So you already know the vibes, dog. We got to cook up. I got a few topics I'm going to go over today. Of course, the main topic at hand, Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Zepeda locked in for July 12th in New York on a Ring magazine card. Don't know if this fight is the official main event for that particular card or not, but we'll know more. But we definitely gonna go over that for sure. That's definitely the main topic at hand today for sure on what we got going, man. And got several other topics and we gonna cook up and we gonna get to it, man. A lot of crazy stuff happening in boxing over the recent the recent recent week. You know what I'm saying? This week's been crazy in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Brian Norman Sr. on all these platforms, hating on Boots and capping and getting caught in lies and contradictions. Um Boots Sanders capturing, the WBA and Ring magazine along with his IBF title. You know what I'm saying? Becoming unified 147-pound champion. And shoot, we got Tank Roach on the horizon, June 21st. Man, a lot of crazy stuff in boxing, man. David Benavidez got dug by Canelo first, and then it ended up being Dimitri Bivol. Bill Haney still capping. You know what I mean? On Cigar Talk. Now, Devin Haney, he got a whole interview on Cigar Talk that's about to come out. So we're gonna react to that video when that video drops for sure. And Shakur Stevenson, owners Anita Baker timing, apologizing to Turkey, and you know what I'm saying? First was disrespecting him, airing his business out on what he was getting paid for the Zepeda fight, and then doubling back, apologizing to Turkey. Like crazy shit, man, in boxing, man. Crazy shit in boxing, dog. Real talk. Real talk, man. And we gonna go over all of that today, for sure. Like, for sure. And let me just get to the first topic, man. Where do I want to start at for the first topic of today, this morning? And I'm gonna try not to be long today, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody got stuff going on this Friday. It's a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's beautiful where y'all at, but I know it's beautiful where I'm at. And I'm definitely not going to hold y'all up too long and stuff and everything today, man. So let's get it started, bro. Uh, Let me go ahead and get this rumor out of the way. Because I meant to say this the other day when I was live. Um, there's a rumor out there going around about Earl Spence moving back down to 147 pounds to fight Mario Barrios. Now, let me go ahead and start off and say this. This rumor is one of the dumbest damn rumors that any boxing media or whoever y'all want to call it can put out. Now, ask yourself, after we seen Earl Spence in that last fight that he had with Bud Crawford, no, in 2023 of July, when we seen him, a lot of us fans said that we felt like Earl Spence didn't look, didn't look too well. You know what I'm saying? For us, the weight, etc. And we're all in belief that Earl Spence should be moving up and fighting at a higher weight class at this point. So the the audacity for anybody in media, and let me turn my camera on now because we can cook up now. So the audacity, let's do some quick adjustment real quick. The audacity for any media to mention Earl Spence moving back down to 147 just to fight um Mario Barrios is just stupid. It's just stupid, no logic for anybody to even assume it or even think of it. You feel me? Like it's just stupid. And trust, this rumor is not true. I'm shooting it down from the gate. It's not true. It ain't happening. Won't never happen. So anybody having any consideration of Earl Spence moving back down from 154 to 147 to fight Mario Barrios is all cap. He's fighting at 154. That's where Earl Spence is campaigning at. D for the win. What's good, my boy? Earl Spence is fighting at 154 when he does decide to come back. And we'll see what happens. As far as what's next for Earl Spencer in particular, man. I'm just saying, for a lot of people got to stop rushing to put out um, these false, breaking news. Like, a lot of y'all people on social media be so quick to break news and try to be the first one to put certain content out, man. And this is one thing that I really truly stand behind. I'm not going to put out no content, or if it's breaking, if it's like some breaking news, I'm not going to put some content out that I know that's not true, and definitely not going to put out the content if I'm not 100% sure if no, this shit is true or not. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of you people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all these different, social media platforms. Y'all all be rushing to try to put out content for breaking news to be the first one to put it out and be the first one to be like, oh yeah, I broke it. I was the first one that broke that news and everything. And then shit, fucking hour later, we found out the shit was false. And this is exactly that right here. Earl Spence is not going to be fighting no damn Mario Barrios at 147. It's just a dumb rumor. It's a dumb rumor to even speak about for real. Like, I shouldn't even be speaking about this for real, honestly. Like, what I'm saying? It gets to like certain shit to where like I see certain shit that come across my desk and for us topics and stuff, and I be like, why the fuck they even put this out? Like, this shit ain't true. This is cap. Like, what the fuck is the point of even talking about this? But just for Earl's sake, I definitely wanted to speak on Earl as far as that rumor, because I wanted to mention it the other day on the show the other night, but this rumor, all cap, not true at all. And we'll see what happens next with Earl Spence. Earl Spence, he's taking his time coming back. Me personally, I want to see Earl, back very soon, and I would love to see Earl Spence back in a tune-up fight just to get his feel back for the ring and everything. And Earl Spence, we need to see who you're gonna be working with, who's gonna be a trainer. Like, that's still a question in the air too. Still a lot of questions in the air for us, Earl Spence in particular. You know what I mean? And I'm one of his biggest fans, man, and I just want to see him come back and and win. You know what I mean? I don't want the Bud Crawford fight to be Earl Spence's last fight. And I don't want to remember Earl Spence in that manner. I would love for Earl Spence to come back and, show us, his greatness. Because, Earl Spence, he's definitely a bona fide Hall of Famer, man. Had one of the greatest runs at 147 in the welterweight division. And a lot of people been throwing crazy hate at him ever since he lost. When to Bud, pretty much when he's the prime example of why that fight happened. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave up his A side leverage 100% just to make that fight happen because he wanted to give the fans what they wanted. And obviously performance wise, he didn't give what they wanted, but no, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's next for Earl Spence, and I'm always rooting for Earl Spence, man. That's my dog. That's one of my favorite fighters of all time, and definitely gonna be always supporting Earl in whatever he decides to do, whether he retires or not fights again, or if he decides to come back and fight a championship contender, or he fights a tune-up, whatever he decides he wants to do, I'm always going to support Earl Spence regardless, and that's what real fans should be doing. You know what I mean? That's how you're supposed to move. You rock with your fighter, win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? You don't just disown the fighter and shit after he get his ass whooped. You know what I mean? Like some of you Devin Haney fans did. Had to throw a stray at y'all real quick. But all right, man. So that brings me to my next topic, man. Um my next topic. Let me get what I want to go. Where I want to go with it. Okay. Hmm. I go to I do this one then. All right. Yesterday, of course, you got the Fatal Fury New York card coming up. So yesterday they had a media workout day for Ryan Garcia yesterday. Ryan Garcia was working with Derek James, looking sharp in there, man. Looks in great shape. Great shape. Great pop behind his punches. Um and of course they interviewed him, and they asked him some questions and stuff, and it was a quick interview, honestly. It wasn't that long for real. But Ryan Garcia, they asked him about Boots, and he said he'll definitely fight Boots, and Ryan Garcia expressed that he's coming after all the 147-pound champions. So Ryan Garcia expressed his interest in wanting to become champion at 147 pounds, and said that he definitely will fight Boots Ennis. And then he comes out and says that Boots Ennis isn't a pound for pound fighter, which is interesting to hear. It was interesting to hear this man Ryan Garcia speak about that shit for real. Like, what I mean, for as Boots saying Boots was not a pound for pound fighter. Now, this is my personal opinion for as Boots being a pound for pound fighter. Is he a pound for pound fighter? Talent wise, I believe he is. Resume and everything he got, going for us, accolades, etc. Up until now, he would be a my pound for pound personally, but I know he probably won't be in a lot of y'all's pound for pounds. So I'm like 50-50 with Ryan Garcia for us the pound for pound, no talk for us Boost Ennis. Me personally, I think that Boost Ennis, he with the landscape, because I haven't done a pound. I did one pound for pound list, and I think it was probably like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. Probably it was a little bit after the Bud Crawford fight. I want to say the Bud Crawford and Earl Spence fight. I did a pound for pound list, so that was my first one. I haven't done one since. Now I've done like my favorite fighter list and stuff, because pound for pound list for real, I mean, I like some of them, but then I don't like a lot of them from like the big media. A lot of them, no, a lot of their their pound for pound lists be trash, bro. Like what I'm saying, and they be showing a lot of favoritism and shit. You know what I mean, in the pound for pound, which is anybody coming with a pound for pound boxing list, they're going to show favoritism in that list towards their fighters, probably most likely. You know what I'm saying? But I have seen some very fair pound for pound lists out there as well from certain media and certain fans and people out there as well. But me in particular, I'm not really crazy about doing pound for pound lists in particular. But as far as Boots Ennis, should he be on the pound for pound list? I'm like, he outside looking in, and I would literally have to sit there and come up with top 10 fighters out of the all the weight classes to really give a really a real defined answer. But Boots is probably outside looking in, or he should probably be at the bottom. You know what I mean? I will say this: like certain fighters, like Devin Haney, don't deserve to be on anybody's pound for pound list. That's just my personal opinion. Like he don't deserve to be on any pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Especially after we going off of what happened to him last year. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he has his old back, but at the same time, we all know that boy lost that fight. Got to keep it real. You know what I mean? But interesting to hear Boo Sanders um name brought up from Ryan Garcia, and saying that he'll love to fight Boo Sanders, and saying that Boo Sanders isn't pound for pound, man. Well, BVO was good, my boy. Killer Cam hates black fighters. No, I don't, bro. Stop. Stop. Hey, I love black fighters. I just call out these fighters' lies and contradictions, and majority of them be the black fighters. Then on top of that, you gotta look at it too. I cover the whole landscape of boxing too, so I call out the other guys on their lies and contradictions as well. I call out everybody. You know what I'm saying? I call out Tank even when he lied and contradict himself. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, but in particular, I would love to see a Ryan Garcia versus Boots in his fights in the future if it was to come across their desk. I mean, I think that'd be a great fight. You know what I mean? But in particular, as far as Ryan Garcia, he looked very, very in shape yesterday. Rolly Romero, I seen some work. I seen some workout clips from him pop out yesterday. Wasn't too much impressed. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? I think Ryan is going to knock Rolly out in his fight coming up. I ain't gonna lie. I really think so. Said BVO said boosts his cheeks, cat. It said BVO said Emiliano Vargas is boxing's new king. Cat. You know that guy. You know Emiliano Vargas can't fuck with no Abdullah, man. Come on, now Abdullah will destroy Emiliano Vargas, bro. It'll be a good fight, but I think Abdullah will destroy him though. You know what I mean? I like Emiliano. I like him though. I think he the best one out of the Vargas brothers right now, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But other than that, like I said, Rolly wasn't too much impressed with his workout video yesterday, for real, too much. And then of course, Devin, they popped up with some workout clips from Devin, hitting the heavy bag and everything. Wasn't too impressed with his too much as well, honestly. Um, well, I seen people in the comments who were saying like, "Oh, Devin looks strong" and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't see the strength. Just being honest, I don't see it. I don't see what y'all seeing. Maybe I don't know. Although y'all Haney fans, y'all be doing a lot of glazing on the Haneys, a lot of glazing. But we cook them every day, so there ain't no difference. But speaking of the Haneys, though, let's get to this conversation about this man. Robert Garcia came out literally the other day. Ryan Garcia, Robert Garcia comes out and says that Devin Haney is asking to switch Jose Ramirez fight from 144 to 147. And he said Jose signed his contract for 144, but I believe now they are asking for 147, which is fine with us. Jose is a big, tall guy. He's been at 140 for so many years. I think at 147, he will be much stronger, not having to cut those last 7 pounds. His confidence, his body is going to feel so comfortable. I think it will benefit Jose. And then, of course, Mr. Devin Haney, he responds back and says, "This is false. 144 is the weight. I eat burgers and steak every day. I'm not dieting to make weight." All right, so let me talk about this real quick. So let's get this understood. Now, Devin Haney, you may like I heard some Devin Haney fans speak about Jose Ramirez was the guy that wanted to fight at 144. And then we was on my boy, shout out to Angry White Man podcast. We was on Angry White Man podcast last week where I sent my boy D1 the clip of Devin Haney's interview with Ariel Helwani from after the Ryan Garcia fight, where he said that he's fighting at whatever weight class he wants to fight at. you know, he's going to do what he wants to do and everything. You feel me? So this was what Devin Haney quoted, said that he's going to fight at whatever weight class he wants. So all of the fans that was saying that Devin Haney, that Jose Ramirez made the weight for this fight for as a catch weight at 144, that's cat. Devin Haney and his team was the guys that chose this catch weight at 144 pounds. So it goes to my question, since we cooked the whole Jose Ramirez 144 pound catch weight shit, we cooked that narrative that was false, and it actually was Devin Haney that put up this catch weight for this particular fight because they the ones who chose Jose Ramirez in particular. So in general, it comes back. All right, so if Devin Haney's ranked in the WBC as the number one contender at 147, why isn't he fighting this fight at 147 pounds? That's what I'm trying to understand. Just a question. Why does Devin Haney want to fight at a catch weight in this fight with Jose Ramirez when he's a contender at 147 pounds for the WBC right now? Trying to understand the logic. Trying to understand the logic. I know the Devin Haney fans won't have an answer. I know they won't. They never have answers. So understand that Devin Haney chose this weight class for a reason. I'm trying to figure out what's the reason of why he wanted to fight at the catch weight. Like, why not just fight at 147? If that's where you campaigning at, fight at 147. Like the rest of these guys. Ryan Garcia fighting at 147. What y'all rematch is going to be at 147 from what I heard. So if you getting ready with Jose Ramirez, pretty much, because Jose Ramirez is a relentless, fighter, relentless pressure fighter. He has a left hook where he throws the left hook pretty well and stuff. So y'all pretty much getting tailor made ready for the rematch with Ryan Garcia with Jose Ramirez. So the rematch is at 147 with Ryan Garcia. Why the hell is you fighting Jose Ramirez at 144 and the rematch that you got is going to with Ryan Garcia is going to be at 147? Just trying to understand. What type of narrative am I pushing, bro? I'm trying to understand the logic of what some of y'all people be thinking for us this type of shit. I'm just trying to understand. If Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney is fighting the rematch at 147 pounds, why is Devin Haney fighting Jose Ramirez at 144? I'm trying to understand the logic. It makes no sense to me. It's no narrative to pushing this, honestly. Like, we see right through what the fuck is going on. Like, it's no narrative to push with this VVO. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about this, bro. There's no narrative to push. It's just the fact that the Haneys, they be moving weird as hell, bro. This is some weird shit. Like, why not fight at 147? Why not fight at 147 if you fighting Ryan Garcia at 147? BVO, you still haven't even answered the question, though. Answer my question. Why is Devin Haney fighting Jose Ramirez at 144 when he's going to have a rematch with Ryan Garcia in the October at 147? They're not fighting at no catch weight. They're fighting at 147 for the rematch. So why is he fighting Jose Ramirez at 144? lot of black fighters. Said Boo mirror Bill moves weird, not Devin. See, that's the thing. Yes, Bill does move weird. But if Devin's the boss, he should be the one to be able to tell Bill, like, hey, nah, we ain't doing this. What you want to do right there, we ain't gonna do that. But Devin don't have no fucking say-so in his career, bro. He has no say-so in his career, bro. None. Don't even know how to speak for himself. Definitely don't have the gift of gab. Bill has to be the person to talk for him because Devin don't know how to speak for himself. So this is definitely a move that was obviously a Bill Haney move. Definitely. And let me say this too. A lot of the shit that happened with Devin Haney, I don't blame on Devin Haney. Let me put that out there. I don't blame Devin Haney for a lot of the shit that happens to Devin Haney. I blame his father. So a lot of the dislike don't come from just Devin Haney. No, it's Bill Haney. It's his father because his father is clearly emasculating Devin Haney. He's emasculating his son. You feel me? Like, he's clearly emasculating Devin Haney. And Devin Haney needs to grow some fucking balls and be like, yo, this is what we doing. We're not doing this shit. But Devin Haney don't have the balls enough to stand up to his father. He don't. Just the fact of the matter. Just in a deeper perspective. And I didn't even want to get to this. No, I didn't want to have to put this in that layer. But I mean, I broke it down in this layer multiple times. And just to be honest, like I said before, Bill Haney's clearly emasculating his son. Clearly. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of fathers out here emasculating their sons. Brian Norman Sr. emasculating his son. Floyd Schofield Sr. emasculating his son. And it goes into something that I didn't write this down on my shit for my list for my topics today, but I meant to do it though. What's up with these boxing dads, bro? The boxing dads is getting out of pocket right now, bro. Out of pocket. And they're ruining these fighters' careers for real before they even getting there to the pinnacle. Kids like, Brian Norman Sr., Kid Austin, what I mentioned already with his father. You know what I'm saying? You got Kid Austin father out here playing the game, playing bullshit, saying that he'll fight Abdullah Mason if he gets 2.5 million, and we gonna get to that. You got Brian Norman Sr. talking about they want this amount of money to fight, but they fighting for thousands, fighting nobodies. Just don't understand these guys move, man. These guys be moving fraudulent, man. These boxing dads be moving fraudulent. They got to stop emasculating their sons. They got to stop living through their sons. Let them sons do their thing. They ain't like fathers like Errol Spence Jr., man. With Errol Spence Sr., Errol Spence Sr.'s father. And it definitely a part of Errol's, whole boxing career his whole life. But he was behind the scenes. He didn't have to be out, in the open and doing hella interviews and stuff and trying to paint narratives and stuff and trying to change narratives and everything. He ain't had to do that for Earl. Name a lot of boxers, man. I don't even believe Floyd Sr. that he didn't try to steal the spotlight from Floyd for real. Floyd was the guy that had the spotlight. Floyd Sr. didn't steal the spotlight from Floyd Jr. He didn't. And even it's a lot of fighters I can name to sit here that was part of these fighters' lives, as far as them being fathers and everything, and supporting their kids, through thick and thin, and they be behind the scenes. They ain't out in the open. A lot of these fighters that we have, for these fighters that we see out here right now, the Bill Haneys, the Brian Norman Seniors, and Floyd Schofield seniors, they emasculating their sons and they living through them. And it's really sick to see because we're seeing this shit flat out in front of the whole entire world that these guys are doing this shit. And the only person at the end of the day that gets hurt by this shit is the kids. Crush the legend, Ty, salute. What's good with y'all? What's good? Let me hook you up, Crush. I gotta do it for the other phone. Yeah, the only people that gets hurt by this is the boys. The boys is the ones that's going to be damaged by this. You know what I mean? Devin Haney's career is in shambles right now after all the decisions that they've made after the Ryan Garcia fight, and most of them decisions has been made from Bill Haney. Because what? Devin Haney, he don't have no say so in his career. He don't. His father makes all the decisions. Bill Haney is clearly pimping his son. And he's a fake ass pimp because he don't do it fucking well. Flo Schofield Sr. pimping his son. How you gonna ask for more money to fight Abdullah Mason than Shakur Stevenson even made fighting Josh Padley? Shakur Stevenson ain't even making $2.5 million. And Kid Austin Sr. has the whole audacity to literally be like, oh, we want $2.5 million to fight on Abdullah Mason. Put the money on the wood. It go good. No. Y'all ain't worth no damn $2.5 million, especially if y'all just ducked the whole fight. Shit. This man, Kid Austin, controls Floyd Schofield Sr. controls Kid Austin's social media, controls his Twitter, controls his Instagram. So all of the narratives that get pushed for the Austins is coming from Floyd Schofield Sr. Where's the cap? Where's the cap in what I'm talking about? Bro, BVO, you gotta stop being Stevie Wonder to this shit, bro, and open your eyes to what's real out here, bro. These fathers is fucking up a lot of these kids' careers currently, bro, before they even get started for real, dog. Oh, my boy, Angry White Man Boxing Podcast, salute. Hey, everybody, by the way, everybody, subscribe to BVO Sports TVO. BVO Sports TV, that's my dog, man. Cleveland, brother, for sure. And support Angry White Man Podcast as well. Subscribe to them as well, man. Great content for sure, man. D1, that's my dog, my brother, man, for sure. But back to what I was saying. A lot of this shit, man, we're literally seeing Kid Austin getting emasculated from his father right now. No, his father literally making this man, he's shooting videos of this man in the hospital, playing sick. Like at this point, I don't even believe that Kid Austin was sick like that because the man comes back from Saudi Arabia, then he's back in the gym training and shit. Why, if he was so-called real ill to where he almost died, then why the hell is this man back in the ring training and shit? Trying to understand. As soon as y'all came back, soon as y'all came back, you know what I'm saying, from Saudi Arabia, Kid Austin's in the ring training. It made me think that everything that Kid Austin did for us, the whole Shakur shit, was cap. It was all cap. They was capping the whole time. Like, clearly capping. And that's why it's hard for me to believe anything that Flo Schofield Sr. says out of his mouth. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to hear anything. It's hard for me to hear a lot of these guys, Brian Norman Sr., Floyd Schofield Sr., and Bill Haney. It's hard for me to hear anything they say in these interviews because I know 9 times out of 10 they're going to lie and they're going to contradict themselves. And BVO, you get mad at me for calling these guys out on their lies and contradictions, bro. It is what it is. It got to be called out. Because if one of my favorite fighters, if they lie and they contradict themselves, y'all gonna call them out as well. BVO, if Boots Ennis, if you catch him in a lie, I know damn well you gonna try to call it out. And you gonna put it on the table. For sure. Yeah. My boy AWM Boxing. He said got a great show tonight. Tap in for sure. Yeah, tap in with Angry White Man Boxing Podcast tonight, man. They gonna be live tonight. They gonna be lit, man, for sure. And you already know I'm gonna be on tapped in with my brothers, man, for sure. Yeah. So what these fathers, man, emasculating their sons, man, it's just getting real bad, man. It's getting real bad. Bad. Ty, you started the channel. You already know I got a sub to you, sis. Start it up, sis, for sure. For sure. All right, so it bring me to this next topic, man. What's up with these daggone so obviously y'all know Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason, and Shushu Carrington, they all got named recently Ring Magazine ambassadors over Shakur Stevenson, by the way. and bro, y'all got to see the play, man. For us, the whole Ring ambassador shit. For one, the Ring Magazine ambassador shit is all a sponsorship. It ain't nothing but a sponsorship for real. You know what I mean? Just to make a little extra coins for these guys. You know what I mean? So salute to those guys getting some extra bread for sure. Now, all of the fans out there like, oh, they signed on to Turkey and stuff. What's going on with Top Rank? I thought they was joining with PBC and they was gonna mess up the game and all of this shit. This has nothing to do with any of this shit. This is only a sponsorship little situation for real. You know what I mean? Don't got nothing to do with Turkey and them being signed on to Turkey and all of that shit. It's only a sponsorship deal. That's all it is. It ain't about shit. But if you notice the players peep this shit though, that boy like before Turkey got his apology from Shakur Stevenson, which we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to before Shakur Stevenson apologized to Turkey. Turkey made this move and like to really kind of uh, my baby was calling. I got a caller right. So yeah, Turkey. I think he made that move in light to make Shakur Stevenson pissed off, you know what I mean, to go at him, you know what I mean? And now of course you got Shakur Stevenson kissing the ring, bowing down to Turkey Al Sheik so he can get his pay to fight. Cause you already know that was told to him behind the scenes to do. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, um this move ain't nothing but a sponsorship. No, I think it's a cool move. We'll see what happens with these guys. I just don't really. I see the play for us to move though, but nothing big in particular for us that move in particular. But let's get to this Abdullah Mason talk though. So Abdullah Mason got ducked by Kid Austin before the fight negotiations even started. Abdullah Mason, they was him and Top Rank. They was about to send out the offer to Kid Austin. That was already in play. Kid Austin, his father, Floyd Schofield Sr., like I said before, he goes out there and says that, oh, we need 2.5 million for the fight. Put the money on the wood, is all good. This man ducks the fight before it even started. Like I said before, why would Kid Austin get 2.5 million to fight Abdullah Mason? Especially after just what just happened in Saudi Arabia. You just ducked the whole fight that you had with Shakur Stevenson, the whole champion. Like you ducked the whole championship fight just now. So why would anyone want to pay you 2.5 million to fight Abdullah Mason? It makes absolute no sense at all. Absolute none. Like, and it's just stupid business. It's just stupid business. You are pricing yourself, and then it just really makes me sit here and believe that right now, that this man, Kid Austin and them, they don't want no big fights for real. All of this shit is cap from these guys. All of them is cap. Like, they don't really want to fight, bro. They don't want to fight no big fights. They want to attach themselves to all of these guys' names, but they don't want to fight these guys. They don't want to fight these guys. They want to attach themselves to Shakur Stevenson, but they ducked them before even fighting the man. Right? They ducked them in Saudi Arabia 3 days before the fight even fucking happened, bro. Like, like, come on, let's be real. Like, right before the fight even fucking happened, Shakur Stevenson gets ducked. And now y'all want 2.5 million to fight Kid Austin? So y'all want more money than what Shakur Stevenson made fighting Josh Padley? And then we already know Turkey ain't even willing to pay Shakur Stevenson the money that he fought for Josh Padley for was reported 2.1, 2.2 million. So y'all want more money than what Shakur Stevenson made fighting Padley. Y'all ducked the fight fighting Shakur Stevenson. Padley was the replacement for that fight. But y'all want 2.5 million to fight Abdullah Mason? Come on, bro. Like, we gotta stop with the delusion of this shit, bro. Like, Oscar, I'm surprised you ain't dropped this guy yet. But obviously, I understand the whole play for us, not dropping him. Like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all the ones who pulled him out of that fight too, I believe, too. I think Golden Boy had something to do with pulling Kid Austin out of that fight too, because they didn't want the fight from to begin with. Oscar didn't want to sign off on that fight from the begin with because he didn't believe in Kid Austin to beat Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? So, like, just being real, bro. Like, the shit is nasty work. Like, and Kid Austin, them outpricing themselves like this tells you that they know they can't beat Abdullah Mason. They know they can't beat Abdullah Mason. They all of that saying they'll knock Abdullah Mason out and all of that shit cat. Shit cat. They know damn well they can't beat Abdullah Mason. That's why they got this price. You know what I mean? They want to sell they owe for a high price, man. And that's starting to become a big thing in boxing right now, where a lot of these people want to sell they owe for a high price, like Brian Norman Sr. and Jr. They want to sell they owe the boots for a high ass price. Same shit. Different fighter. Different father. Same shit, ain't no difference. They don't believe they can beat these guys. Brian Norman Sr. don't believe that his son can beat Bruce Ennis. That's why he wants fucking this big amount of millions to fucking fight Bruce Ennis. Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield Sr. doesn't believe in his son to beat Abdullah Mason, so that's why he won 2.5 million to fight Abdullah Mason. They don't believe in their sons to beat these guys. But they continue to attach their sons' names to these fighters to promote themselves. This shit is getting cold. It's getting corny. This whole father-son duo shit is getting corny with you guys. Like, there's going to be another father-son duo that's going to come on and lie and contradict themselves and try to change narratives and try to control the narrative and shit. It's going to be more to come because of you guys. Y'all making this shit bad for boxing. Y'all really are. Y'all making this shit really bad for boxing. Like, and Kid Austin Sr., he already know Abdullah Mason will put his son in the dirt. He know that shit. That's why he asking for the price like that. That's why them guys are irrelevant. Said Kid Austin, you D for the win. You said you don't think Kid Austin can make 135? That's a thing. That's a good point. That may be a case too. That may be a case as well. I'm not sure. I feel like he's good at the weight for real. Personally, I just feel like these guys capping. I feel like they don't want to. They don't want to fight these guys. These guys are just capping. This is a whole clown show from the Schofields. This is a clown show from these guys. Like, I don't believe in them in anything that they do or say now. Like, after they ducked Shakur the way they did, I don't believe anything they say. Like, I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Like, how could you trust those guys after what happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? They done gave us bullshit excuses ever since. You know what I mean? Didn't even tell us 100% what truly fucking happened in Saudi Arabia. Because Turkey and them shut their damn mouth. Turkey and Golden Boy said, you say some shit, we gonna cut your water off. So shut the fuck up. And they shut the fuck up. But for him to sit here and ask for 2.5 million to fight Abdullah Mason, get the fuck on somewhere, bro. Go ahead and fight one of them poo putts that work at Pizza Hut or some shit, man. We ain't caring about no damn Kid Austin, man. That shit dead, bro. This shit getting corny from them guys, bro. These father and sons duos, this shit getting corny, man. It's making boxing corny as hell for real, bro. Like, motherfuckers just lying all day and shit, bro. Like, shit cat. Like, this shit is just getting weird. Like, it's getting mad weird. And let me go on and add, while we talking about Abdullah Mason just got locked in to fight Nakathila, a Shakur Stevenson former foe. Interesting. And he's going to be the co-main event on the Keyshawn Davis Edwin De Los Santos card, which is today. I think they have a press conference today for the Keyshawn Davis Edwin De Los Santos fight today. So I don't know what time. I'll check what time in a second. But they got that going on today. But Abdullah Mason is the co-main event. This is his third fight in 4 months. Third fight in 4 months. This man, Abdullah's active out here, man. Active. And you gotta respect it, man, for sure. And I see the play, Top Rank. Hey, y'all gotta see the play, man. Y'all gotta read the room. My man BVO, you gotta read the room, man. Hey, y'all Cleveland cats, man. Y'all don't be reading the room too much, man. Like the Cincinnati cats, man. I know BVO. I know, man. Y'all don't get down like us, man. I know it. I know, brother. But they gotta read the room, you feel me? Peep the play from Top Rank, what they doing. They got Keyshawn Davis fighting Edwin De Los Santos, the same guy that Shakur Stevenson fought on Top Rank almost a couple years ago. And then they got Abdullah Mason fighting Nakathila, another Shakur Stevenson former foe. You know what I mean? And both of those fights that Shakur Stevenson had with both of those guys, he had trouble. He didn't fight well in both of those fights. So if you look at the play, y'all gotta read the room. Top Rank and Shakur is like getting like this shit could be bad for Shakur in so many different layers. You know what I mean? But if you don't peek the play with Top Rank, what they doing, they trying to play Shakur cop on their side too as well. They basically like, shit, you know what, man? Hey, Shakur, man, we Keyshawn, we gonna have you fight Edwin De Los Santos, and then shit, I got it. We gonna have Abdullah Mason fight Nakathila, so we can be promoted as shit. Daggone Keyshawn Davis, he didn't beat Edwin De Los Santos better than Shakur Stevenson, and then Abdullah beat Nakathila better than Shakur Stevenson. They're trying to push that whole narrative. Top Rank has a way of their matchmaking. Just do my guy, salute my brother. Yeah, like Top Rank has a way of doing things, man. And I think they're trying to shit on Shakur with those two fights for real. And of course, it ain't nothing to Keyshawn on his end for real in particular. You know what I'm saying? It's just business with him for us, fighting Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos is coming off, being inactive, didn't fight since the Shakur fight, had a blood clot, had an arm injury as well. You know what I mean? He had some serious, health issues. Blood clot, that's some serious shit. And, Nakathila, haven't heard from him recently, haven't seen him much, but, these are two fights that Keyshawn and Abdullah should win on this card. And, it's very ironic that Top Rank set it up this way. Top Rank, they have a way of doing things. Their matchmaking is impeccable. They like out of all other promotional companies, Top Rank has the best matchmaking in boxing. Clear as day. Top Rank has the best matchmaking in boxing. Like they really do. Like And I see the play with Top Rank on this shit, man, and this could be bad. They trying to make Shakur Stevenson look bad because you think about Top Rank, they didn't like the way that Shakur Stevenson ended his whole situation with them for real. He didn't like that. You seen what they was trying to do? They was putting the cameras in the crowd when the crowd in Jersey was leaving and stuff, and I mean they just promoting so much to downplay Shakur Stevenson. They even put out the number of what they offered him on on a re-signing situation with Top Rank and everything, putting out that they was going to give Shakur 3 million per fight for 5 fights, which is 15 million. You know what I mean, they put the number out, like they did a lot of that shit to to try to have leverage and and fuck with Shakur on. And even with Shakur not being on Top Rank anymore, they're still fucking with Shakur even more now by having Keyshawn Davis, his brother, fight Edwin De Los Santos, and Abdullah Mason fighting Nakathila. And it's interesting to see, man, June 7th, man. This man, Abdullah Mason, keep building, man. Like he's growing. 3 fights in 4 months. And of course, obviously, we're going to see him, for sure, once or twice, probably after this again. You know what I mean? Probably Giovanni Cabrera, probably that fight on the table still, later down the line. You know what I mean? Top Rank is doing a great job moving Abdullah Mason. I got to say that. I got to really admit that. Abdullah Mason is in contender mode. He's not a prospect anymore. So all of the whole prospect talk that we got for us, Abdullah Mason, we can end that shit. He's not a prospect anymore. He's in contender mode now. You know what I mean? So we can dead the whole prospect talk because he's definitely contending now. He's fighting 10-round fights now. You know what I'm saying? Even though fights might not get to 10 rounds messing with him, but he's fighting 10-round fights now. So he's a contender. And he's ranked in the WBC and the WBO. I mean, like I said this before. Next year he'll be challenging for one of these titles in one of those sanctioning bodies next year. We'll see who got those titles at the time, if Shakur and Keyshawn got those titles, and if Abdullah be the guy to challenge one of those guys for one of their titles next year. Because Top Rank, they're going to move him into championship contention even more towards the end of this year and get him ready for a title shot next year. And if you listen to Abdullah Mason in his interviews recently, he's speaking on wanting to get that title shot at 135, like 1 or 2. Yeah, he wants that title at 1. He wants a title shot at 135, and he wants it soon. And next year he'll be 100% ready for it. He's gonna be ready for it. Top Rank's building him for that. They build it, and this is another way too, just to put it in a deeper layer. Look at the fact that Abdullah Mason is the co-main on this fight for Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos, and they both in the same weight class. And Abdullah's ranked in the WBO as well. Yeah, y'all gotta read the room. Top Rank they're gonna try to push that fight eventually with Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis. They're gonna try to push that fight. It's all a matter of when it's gonna happen. Will they push it next year? I mean, how long is Keyshawn gonna stay at 140? I know a lot of people. I know we be talking about Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? As well, as far as his weight, like how long he gonna stay at 135? You know what I'm saying? Like, when he gonna go to 140? Because both of those guys are guys that we assume Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah, they're soon going to have to move to 140. With their weight. But Top Rank, I think they pushing to want to make a fight with Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis with having him on the co-main, similar to how PBC has Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant on the same card on a doubleheader, and they're trying to push for them to fight later on this year. Same shit, and I like it. I think Top Rank. This is my thing. You got guys like Emiliano Vargas and Abdullah Mason, young, hot prospects at 135. You're going to eventually have to put them in the ring together, you know what I'm saying, eventually with some guys to see if they the goods. And I think Top Rank is starting to do that more with Abdullah. They're not doing it so much with Emiliano Vargas so much at the moment. They haven't gave him that step up fight yet. You know what I'm saying? But those guys are the future for top rank. So they're going to put those guys in position to get title fights. Surely. Not a. I think Abdullah's on a more faster pace than Emiliano Vargas currently. So Abdullah will be on pace for a title next year. But eventually, if you see how the shit go with top rank, Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason will be a fire ass fight. A fire ass fight. And I'm curious to see if Keyshawn would stay at 135 for that fight. Like, would he fight Abdullah Mason? He did talk a little bit of shit talking about Abdullah Mason wouldn't fight nobody and shit like that. And he was moving up guys and shit, and waiting and shit like that. And even though the same shit happened with him too as well. Like, he done moved Gustavo Lemos down from 140 to 135 to fight, you know what I mean? Then moved daggone Jose Pedraza from 140 to 135 to fight. So, I mean, Keyshawn, you contradicted yourself on that shit, talking about Abdullah moving up guys from 130 to 135 when you moving guys down from 140 to 135. But that's a whole nother story, you feel me? A whole nother story, man. I be having so many layers to this shit. That's why I love this shit. But in general, man, I'm definitely excited to see Abdullah Mason on the card fighting Nakatila, and I'm excited to see Keyshawn Davis get it cracking with. Another phone call, so we good. So let's get it cracking, man. All right. So, another thing I did want to speak on too, real quick. So Canelo Alvarez, he admits to playing with the playing. Canelo Alvarez admits to playing the negotiation game with Jake Paul for his Turkey and everything. And I wanted to read some of what he said on that real quick, man. Salute to Lance Pugmire, out there working with boxing scene, man. Does great work for sure. Um, this is what Canelo said. So they asked him about, his fight, signing a multi-fight deal with, Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al Sheikh and everything. And they asked him about, what happened with the whole situation with Jake Paul. And then Canelo Alvarez, he goes on and says, you need to play your cards. Barstool Sports, when they asked him, he said, it would not be a fight versus Paul, but it would be in an event. It is not for the moment. And then he goes on to speak about William Scholes, saying that, he's fully focused for William Scholes, and says that he knows William Scholes. I know he has a lot of skill because he had a lot of amateur fights. He said the Cubans have a particular style, and it's a little bit difficult, but I fought every style, and I can adapt to any style. This will be no exception. And he said, I'm already the only undisputed super middleweight champion. So now I would be the only two-time undisputed champion. We're going to get there. Maybe before the fight to get used to Saudi Arabia. The motivation is to see new countries, to fight in new countries. And at this stage of my career, I need that motivation. So this man Canelo, he said that he admits to playing the negotiation games for as Jake Paul and William Scholes with Turkey Al Sheikh, because he was trying to pull his strings and get the bag that he wanted, get the situation that he wanted. And Canelo's saying that he wants to fight in a new country, and that him fighting in new countries is new motivation for him and everything. And interesting to hear him say it, but I think it's bullshit because at the end of the day, Canelo got to understand Cinco de Mayo is a big thing in the States. Your fans, your Mexican fans, your Mexican American fans, a lot of your fans, just in general, they love seeing you fight Cinco de Mayo weekend in the States. And you taking that away from them and fighting in Saudi Arabia where None of them people in Saudi Arabia don't give a damn about boxing out there for real. They don't watch the fights when they're at the damn fights for real at all. And then shit, they don't care at all about boxing up there for real. Are you fighting over there only for the bag? We know that. It's only for the bag, bro. That ain't about you wanting to fight in new countries and shit. You supposed to fight 3 of the fights on the 4-fight deal in Saudi Arabia. So where's you fighting in other countries at? So you lying. Canelo be lying a lot too, BVO. We be calling everybody out. They ain't just black fighters. We call everybody out. Canelo get caught in a lot of lies as well. And he clearly lied, saying, oh, I want to fight in other countries, but you're set to fight 3 of the 4 fights on the Saudi deal in Saudi Arabia. Make this make sense. Like, somebody make this make sense. Like, come on. Like, Canelo, another lie, contradiction that we just killed right there. But interesting to see him. And then it goes to the whole situation now with Turkey LSC with the bundles. They bundling pay-per-view for Cinco de Mayo weekend, dog. $60 for Canelo Williams Gold card. When that card, that undercard is hot garbage. $60 for the Fatal Fury card in New York that Friday on May 2nd. Then you can buy a bundle for what? For you get both fights for $90. And you already know the zone, they skep as hell with charging your cards and shit. Like they be making they charging shit extra, charging shit twice, triple, everything. Like, you know what I mean? Not jacking that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? What happened to Turkey with the $25 pay-per-views? What happened to that? All the Turkey lovers, where y'all at? Oh, Turkey saving boxing. He got $25 pay-per-views. He uploading the footage from the fight the next day on his channel. Woo woo. But now he upping the price on when he signed on Canelo. Peep the play. Read the room. Canelo he's fighting for about $100 million per fight on this 4-fight deal with Turkey LSC. All of Turkey's money is invested in the Canelo Alvarez. Y'all gotta read the room. Didn't want to pay Shakur the money that he made, more than, in the Padley fight for Zepada. Read the room that this man, Turkey, just got Dana White to run his boxing promotional company that's coming up, TKO Boxing, one of the cheapest motherfuckers in combat sports. Y'all better read the room. All it is spending millions, trillions of dollars, that shit dead. Turkey is structuring his money now. He's not willing to spend money and overpay fighters as he was before now. He's not willing to lose. He don't want to lose much money as he already been losing, even though he's about to lose a shitload of money Cinco de Mayo weekend, though. He's already set to lose $10 million on the Fatal Fury card because he ain't got no gate. It's stupid. Like, that's why I said Turkey doesn't know what he's doing in boxing, bro. Like, he just be doing anything, bro. Mag 7 Life was good, my boy. Got you in a second. We about to get into the Shakur talks very, very shortly. I just wanted to cook on this real quick with Turkey. But like I said, Turkey bundling pay-per-view buys, pay-per-view, it's stupid. Not going to be successful. Not going to be successful. He was better off staying at 25. Like, now, I want to see some of you Turkey fans, like, really like, damn, where's the love Turkey was showing for boxing? Because he ain't showing no fucking love. He wasn't showing no love from the beginning, bro. That boy's a whole dictator, bro, trying to take over boxing. And he failed at it miserably. Miserably. All of that shit falling down like the Titanic for Turkey right now. He leaving out boxing slowly but surely. He trying to do movies and shows and shit for Ring Magazine and shit. This shit over with. I told you guys about Turkey LSC. I told you that this shit wasn't gonna last long. And this shit is ending in front of our eyes as we see it, as we know it right now. This whole Turkey LSC shit is ending, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of this shit. Loving it. I love seeing Turkey take these L's. I love it. I love it because it makes it only proves my takes right. That's all it was. That's all. That's all. That's all, man. So let me get to the main topic at hand, man. So Shakur Stevenson locked in with William Zepeda July 12th on a Ring Magazine card in New York. Now, it ain't no reports for us if they're going to be the main event for this card or who else is going to be on this card in particular. But the card is locked in and it's official for July 12th. I'm happy that this fight is finalized and they got it done, man. Oscar, he announced it last night, said that, Zepeda Shakur is on. And then Shakur, he followed up saying checkmate. And let's just talk about briefly, how did we get here? How did we get here? Of course, it was just the communication between both parties for us, them communicate for us this fight. I really feel like Zepeda ducked Shakur twice, 2 or 3 times leading up to them finalizing this fight. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? But just let's talk about the recent activity in this fight, though. We don't want to talk about from the start to finish because we know Zepeda ducked the fight. We know that. So leading up to this, Oscar and Golden Boy, they made Zepeda a mandatory for the WBA as well. So they pushed the envelope to try to get this fight done on that way. And of course, he's the mandatory for Shakur Stevenson. What happened was Shakur Stevenson came out and said that Turkey Al-Sheikh went back on his word on the money that he was going to pay him for the Zepeda fight and was trying to pay him less than what he made in the Padley fight than on the Zepeda fight. And then, came out saying that, he is on man. Turkey sending his boys to, run information to him and saying that, he is on boss and everything. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Obviously rubbed Turkey the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Because then the report came out from Eddie Hearn saying that Shakur Stevenson will not be fighting on no Ring Magazine or Riyadh season events. So Turkey was like, "Oh, I'm cutting your water off. I'm about to make Keyshawn Davis, Shoo, Abdullah. I'm making them Ring Magazine ambassadors. I'm cutting your water off. You ain't fighting on no Riyadh season or Ring Magazine events since you want to get snappy with me on Twitter." And then what the man Shakur does, comes out and apologizes to Turkey. No, changed his whole tune. But apologize, said that he's excited about the work that he's going to be doing with Turkey Al-Sheikh and stuff, and for his next fight and everything, and basically just gave kissed the ring. He kissed the ring of Turkey pretty much. Got on his knees and kissed the ring for Turkey, pretty much. I mean, and this is the thing I'm gonna say about it. Am I mad at him apologizing to Turkey on the situation? No, I'm not even mad about it because I think it's the right thing to do because this is the thing. If you so-called Shakur have one more fight on this deal, do whatever it takes. Like I said recently, I said, do whatever it takes to get this fight done, bro. Get this fight done and get the fuck away from them guys because them guys are trying to ruin you over there. They trying to ruin you. It's a clear indication they trying to ruin you over there. Get the fuck away from them guys. And I'm saying it again. Shakur, if this is truly your last fight on the Matchroom deal, you're a free agent, get far away from Matchroom Boxing. You should have never signed there to begin with. So I'm telling you right now, get away from them guys, bro. I'm telling you, they trying to ruin your career. And you see it. You should be able to see the play. Shit. That's why I said Shakur Stevenson, that's why I said that his team has too many yes men around him, man. Too many yes man. Where's the guy that's going to hold somebody accountable and be like, yo, man, bro, nah, that move shitty, bro. Nah, bro. Man, you had this fight, man. Hey, lead these motherfuckers, man. We can go make our own fights, be a free agent, do shit, you know what I'm saying? Fuck around, try to get back with Top Rank or something, or try to make a move with PBC and try to get a fight with Tank or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where is the real ones in Shakur Stevenson camp? Because Shakur Stevenson don't have no real ones in his camp to let him know that some of these moves is shitty and bad moves. Like, that's for real. For real. Like, some of these moves are bad moves from Shakur Stevenson. And he have a lot of yes men around him because it's nobody to check him and tell him like, yo, you moving wrong, bro. You moving well. You moving weird over there. Don't do that. Too many yes men. He should have never been in a predicament to apologize to Turkey Al-Sheikh from the beginning. And granted, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he in the wrong. He in the wrong because he should have been a man. If you a man, you a man of your word. Should have been a man of your word and kept the number with Shakur, but you went back on the number because you already see that Shakur don't have much value for you. That's how you look at it. And thank God that this fight didn't go to purse bid. I've been on record, multiple content creators, in the boxing community. A lot of us, we've been on record saying, Shakur, you let this fight go to purse bid, it's gonna be bad news for you, man. It's gonna be bad news because you don't want your true value to get out in the market, which is, a lot of people's already saying that you don't have much value. Top Rank, they already put the value out there for you last year. Eddie Hearn already said that he wasn't going to pay you the same money that you made at Top Rank if you came on the Matchroom Boxing, and he's clearly not doing that. Shit, Eddie Hearn ain't even trying to pay you at all. He's just trying to put you on turkey cards and make money off of you and get his percentage, let alone with Jay Prince and your other manager that you have. You got a lot of hands in your pockets too, by the way, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, in general, though, with Shakur, Eddie Hearn has not tried to invest in you at all since you've been with him. He ain't put you as a main event on the card for as, let me put Shakur and, in the States, main event out there in the States so we can try to, boost up his marketability and his brand in the U.S. So we can try to groom him in the store. The shit that he doing with Boots, he ain't doing with Shakur Stevenson. He moving well with Boots. He got Boots main event 2 times in Philly, just main evented in Atlantic City and New Jersey. Why can't Shakur Stevenson get a main event in Atlantic City and New Jersey? Just a question of mine. Just a thought. Why can't Shakur Stevenson get that same type of treatment, Eddie? That's why I said Eddie Hearn is a cancer to Shakur Stevenson's career. A big cancer. Been ruining his career since he signed with him. And Shakur Stevenson fans, y'all be accepting this shit. Y'all be cool with this shit. Y'all be cool with Eddie Hearn, this fucking Shakur Stevenson over. Because that's what pretty much he's been doing. He's just trying to get money off of Shakur Stevenson. Oh, let me put Shakur Stevenson on a Ring magazine or a Riyadh season card. I get my percentage off of him. I don't got to put money into him into an event, so I don't have to fucking lose money because I know if I probably throw an event with Shakur Stevenson, I'm probably going to lose money on the event because nobody cares to see Shakur Stevenson. Nobody cares about his style of boxing for real, for real. A lot of people feel Shakur Stevenson is boring as hell. So why even invest in an event with my own money from Matchroom Boxing and Shakur Stevenson? That's what Eddie Hearn is literally sitting there asking himself. And he's like, shit, why not? Fuck it. I'm just going to put him on the card with Turkey. Shakur, please beg the Turkey. Apologize to him, man, so we can get this money for the fight because the Zone, they don't want to put up the money for the fight. Me and Oscar, we don't got money to put up for the fight. Shakur, please apologize to Turkey, man, so Turkey can pay for the fight, man, so he can put the fight on. Because Shakur, I don't got the money to pay for the fight. I can't pay you for the fight, man. I can't pay you to fight Zepada. That's literally Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn never wanted to invest in Shakur from the beginning at all. Hasn't done it since he's been in Matchroom. Don't want to at all. That's just the fact of the matter. Eddie Hearn is been a shitty promoter for Shakur Stevenson. But let y'all Shakur Stevenson fans tell it. Eddie Hearn was the best promoter for Shakur Stevenson. He could have got that Williams Zepada fight and Kid Austin fight easier if he would have signed with Oscar De La Hoya. Could have got the Tank Davis fight last year if he would have took the offer last year that was offered upon him from PBC. They're saying, like, some of these, like Shakur, he puts himself in a bad situation signing over there in Matchroom because there's nobody over there at 135 for him to fight over there. So, as a real one, what you do to get the fights? Like, shit, I'm going to name an example. Deontay Wilder, shit, he felt like PBC didn't have many heavyweights at the time and shit. He didn't beat all the good heavyweights at PBC. So, what he had to do to fight some more good heavyweights, go over there, the Matchroom, and fight some of those guys over there. He ended up fucking with Turkey Al-Sheikh and getting a big bag over there. Fighting good guys, good competition over there in the heavyweight division. You got to go where the fights is at. You got to go where the fights is at. Shakur don't want to bet on himself and go where the fights is at. He want to put roadblocks in between the fights. You know what I mean? And it makes that, and the Shakur Stevenson fans don't understand that it makes Shakur Stevenson look iffy when he puts roadblocks in between fights. You know what I mean? But I'm extremely happy now that they had this fight done. That's all I wanted. I did not want this fight to go to purse bid for Shakur Stevenson. Honestly, I really didn't, because I felt like if it would have went to purse bid, would have been bad for Shakur. Shakur probably would have made less than what he was gonna make on the offer that Turkey Al-Sheikh originally offered for the Zepada fight. Because Eddie didn't want to bid for that fight. Shit, and we seen Eddie lose the whole purse bid with Boots and Karen. You know what I mean? So, like, we know Eddie he doesn't have a good track record in purse bids. So, good job on them guys making this fight happen. I understand Shakur Stevenson having to apologize, you know what I'm saying, as far as that shit. Because of Eddie Hearn and his team, they put him on because Turkey's the only person that was willing to fund the fight. I don't even think the Zone was willing to fund the fight because you remember Eddie Hearn said, us and Golden Boy, we got to go up to the Zone. He said this last week. We got to go to the Zone and see if they can fund the fight because, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he doesn't want to fund the fight. You know what I mean? But it's so obvious that they told Shakur to apologize. Like, Shakur, you got to apologize. And Shakur, he went off of his word and apologized. Now, does this make Shakur look like he a sucker? Yes, he is a sucker. Because the thing is, you gotta think of the response that was Shakur, how he responded when he first had, the whole situation about Turkey coming back on Twitter. He was talking about, I'm standing on my own and stuff. I'm a boss. I do what I want. Turkey trying to send me his towel boys to run information to me and all of this shit. He was talking reckless. Then you come back and apologize. You get on your Anita Baker timing. Like, you get on Anita Baker timing. I apologize. Do, 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 do. Exactly what he owned. But I understand the move. You had to apologize so you can get the fight because Eddie Hearn didn't want to pay for the fight. Him or Oscar. They both didn't want to pay for the fight. The Oscar didn't really give a fuck, too, at the end of the day because Zepada didn't care about the money he was making. He good. Shit, we like, give us 200,000, 300,000, we good. Put the money down. We good. We'll fight Shakur. We just want that title because we know we can beat him. Like, they think they can beat him. That's just the fact of the matter. But I'm happy that this fight is made, though. I'm happy the fight is made. They need that fight. They needed that fight to get made because, like I said, it would have went the purse bid. Would have been bad. Crucial content, my dog. What's good with you, my boy? Got to add to the mod, man. For sure. Get your rants, my dog. Yeah, man. Shakur Stevenson, Williams Zepada, lock July 12th in New York. I'm interested what part of New York is going to be at. It's going to be in Brooklyn. It's going to be, Manhattan, over there, MSG. You know what I mean? Interested. Very interested. Hope they ain't doing that Times Square shit, cause I don't know that. I don't know how this Times Square shit is. They really still having to fight at Times Square for real? Cause I don't know how this shit gonna work. This shit look like it's gonna just be a whole disaster come May 2nd, bro. It's gonna be a whole disaster come May 2nd. Like I don't know how this Times Square shit gonna work for real. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely happy for Shakur that he got this fight. He finally got a fight that he want. He got it made. Now Shakur, like I said, handle business. Handle business versus Zepada, bro. Handle your business. Get away from Matchroom. Get away from Turkey Al Sheik after this, bro. Get away from him. I'm telling you, this the best advice you gonna get for your career right now, Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you, you fight this fight, beat Zepeda ass, show him that he ain't like that, and get away from Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and Turkey Al Sheik, bro. Get far away from them guys. You know what I mean? And brings me on to what I want to talk about last. We got two fights this weekend. There's not a big weekend for us fights this weekend, honestly, man. But two fight cards. You got Gabrielle Fundora. She's fighting this Saturday. She's main event along with Charles Conwell from Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio stand up. So let me read off what they who fight. So Gabriela Fundora, Sebastian Fundora's sister, is fighting this girl Marilyn Bidello, and then Charles Conwell is fighting the 12-round fight against Jorge Perez in the co-main event in this fight. These fights are in California Saturday night, 8 o'clock on the zone. Of course, Gabriella, I think, the girl that she's fighting, pretty tough, it looks like. Don't have much knockout power, but I can see Gabriella Fundora getting a knockout in her fight. And in the Charles Conwell fight, fighting a tough guy that got some power, man. This is a nice little task, man, because the dude Jorge Perez, he's 32-4 with 26 knockouts, so he got some power. And Charles Conwell, obviously 21-0, 16 knockouts. He's rated number 2 in the WBO and number 3 in the WBC in the 154. So he's one of the top contenders at 154, man. Just want to see, Charles Conwell just progress and see his growth in this fight. And definitely want to, Charles Conwell's been wilding on shit, been wrecking shit lately, man. Like, you know what I mean? Been getting crazy knockouts, man, for sure. And I want to see him put on a great performance so he could put these champions on notice that he in the building, man. Eddie Hearn, man, do your job, man. Get my man Charles Conwell one of them fights at 154. There's too many top contenders. You know what I'm saying? Too many good fights at 154 for Charles Conwell, man. And Eddie Hearn need to do better, man. That's what I'm saying. Eddie Hearn is a shitty promoter when it comes up to American fighters. He's a shitty promoter. Real live shitty promoter when it comes up to American fighters. And I urge all American fighters, stop signing with Eddie Hearn. He is not going to do nothing good for your career, most likely. 9 times out of 10, he's going to fuck you over. 9 times out of 10. He only cares about them UK motherfuckers, bro. He don't give a fuck about the American fighters like that, for real. He's just trying to make some money off of them. That's all he's trying to do, bro. But, yeah, in this fight with Charles Conwell, man, I'm going to say he wins by decision, just on the safe side. But then, I can see him getting a knockout in this fight as well with Jorge Perez. And we'll see that fight for sure, man. Gabriella's first main event fight. So salute to Gabriella Fundora, Sebastian Fundora's sister, up there wrecking shit. As far as the women, she's the undisputed flyweight champion. You know what I mean? So she definitely popping her shit right now. You feel me? And in the second fight, which will be Sunday, you got Ben Whittaker versus Leon Cameron. This is a rematch fight. The first fight was controversial. You know what I mean? Basically, it was a draw. So they're running this fight back, and I feel like they're definitely right for running this fight back because it definitely was a good fight. Me personally, I would edge Ben Whittaker in this fight by decision. I don't think nobody gonna get knocked out in this fight. If somebody was getting knocked out, I would say Leon Cameron would knock out Ben Whittaker before Ben would knock out Leon personally. But I'm taking Ben Whittaker by decision in this fight with Leon Cameron this time. I think he's going to use his athletic ability and be able to fight on the outside and be able to, win by points. He can beat Cameron by points. If he fights his fight. But if he, starts showboating and doing all of that silly shit, and then he get the fighting on the inside like he was doing it against Cameron in that last fight, and Cameron was in there catching him with shots. This motherfucker was in there trying to fight on the inside and shit with him. Like Ben Whittaker doesn't fight well on the inside to me. You know what I mean? I'm just calling it out how I see it. You know what I mean? I don't Ben Whittaker. I know a lot of people they high on him. They say his stand his style is similar to the drunken master and shit. Emmanuel Augustus and shit. But and say that he's a better version of him. I don't. I think he's a good fighter. I don't. I think he's talented, but I don't see him making no strides at 175 for real. I don't see him beating no top guys at 175, bro. Like I honestly think he probably should be fighting at 168 for real. But I mean, him at 175, man, they stepping on this dude. Just imagine Ben Whittaker, like if he got up in contention and he was fighting like a David Benavidez, or he was fighting like a fucking Archer Returbiev or something. You feel me? Like, just imagine that. Like, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think Ben Whittaker would get destroyed. He'd get destroyed by the top guys at 175. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see a high ceiling for Ben Whittaker, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion. I may be wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. Some takes that we have, that we do voice and stuff, we get some of them wrong as well, and it's okay. It's okay. We live to drop content another day. You feel me? Like, but I don't think Ben Whittaker, like, you know what I'm saying, honestly, can beat any of the guys at 175. I don't think he has a high ceiling at 175 to be a top guy in that division in particular. But in this particular fight, I feel like he should win by decision against Leon Cameron. But I would not be surprised if Leon Cameron upsets Ben Whittaker in this fight. I'm just being real. I would not be surprised. Like, this is a 50-50 fight, but I'm edging it to Whittaker because I'm just going off of his talent. I think he has the talent to beat Cameron in this fight if he uses talent to his full 100% ability. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, my fight predictions, I've been right. I was undefeated last week. I got one wrong the week before. So I'm only predicting 3 fights this week. These are the 3 fights. Gabriela Fundora. I'm gonna say Gabriela Fundora by knockout or decision. And I'm gonna say Charles Conwell by decision. I'm gonna say by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he do get the knockout. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm gonna say Ben Whittaker by decision Sunday on his fight. You know what I mean? I don't see Ben Whittaker knocking out Cameron. I can see Cameron probably knocking him out beforehand, but I don't see either one knocking each other out for real. Like, either one will probably win by decision in that fight. But I got Ben Whittaker on the edge in that fight, winning by decision, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, not too much to break down. Like, light week in boxing this week for real. Trying to see if it's any crazy, is it any good ones next week? Oh, well, next week we got Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn next Saturday. So that's a big one. The undercard is not that bad. Not that bad. Not a good undercard, but not a bad undercard. It's okay. It's okay. But Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn is next Saturday, man. So we got that coming up next Saturday for sure. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. A lot of crazy shit going on in boxing, man. Of course, like I said, William Zepada versus Shakur Stevenson is locked for July 12th. Of course, Tank Davis, Lamont Rose, locked June 21st. We should be expecting an announcement this next week from what I heard from Knockout Boxing 8680 on TV. Salute to my brother, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. He support me and everything, man. So I gotta salute my dog, man, for sure. But Big Play Sports, J. Paul versus Chavez, June 28th. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's J. Paul. Yeah, I'm interested in the fight a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that it is Chavez Jr. You know what I mean? Interested in the fight. The fight should have happened last year, for real, for real. But we getting it now, man, and I'm interested to see how it go, man. I think Jay Paul will win the fight, probably, most likely. I don't think Julius Chavez Jr. is that good, honestly, in my opinion. It's crucial content after listening to Eubank Senior. I don't even want to watch that fight. Yeah, bro, I seen some crazy shit with them, dog. Like the Eubanks, they camping tight. You got Eubank Jr. Eubank Senior saying that he won't, be in the sun corner and stuff. Like they beefing and everything. Like they got some crazy shit going on over there, bro. Like I'm gonna watch the fight because I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what it looked like. Now, I'm not too fond of Ben moving up to 147. Honestly, the fight Eubank. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think what they fighting at one? Are they fighting at 160? 8, or are they fighting 168 or 160? I think they're fighting 160. I think 160. But Eubanks is challenging Canelo, so Eubanks is talking like he wants to go up to 168 to fight Canelo. Now he done put his name in the Canelo sweepstakes now. Yeah, Big Play Sports he said he's going to make Chavez Senior proud in ways Junior never did. Mm. Interesting. He said, Big Play Sports, I know it's not the most exciting news in the world, but it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. I mean, Jay Paul, I'm interested to see who he puts on the undercard. That's who I'm interested to see. Yeah, I mean, especially, right after that, he's fighting before. Is that fight before the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor card? Yes, it is. I believe it is. Because Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, they're fighting July 11th, if I remember. So so Jake Paul and Chavez Jr., they're fighting before them. So, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, you know what I mean? Of course, you already know the crazy part, even with the Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Zepada, I mentioned the other day on the show that Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, they're going to be fighting July 12th in London. In Wembley Stadium. So you got two big fights, in on the same day on July 12th as well. And who else? Then you got Richardson Hitchens. He's fighting George Kambosos June 14th, a week before the June 21st Tank Roach rematch. So we got some boxing coming up. The boxing is starting to heat up. Jamal Charlo and Caleb playing on the same card May 31st. So it's starting to heat up, man. We got some fights, man. We got some fights. I know that Cinco de Mayo weekend from Turkey gonna flop though. That whole weekend. Only person that might not flop would probably be Nawa anyway, because he fights Sunday in Vegas that weekend, fighting the Cardenadas dude. But that's what we got though, man. So that's what we got for today, man. Great show, man. We covered a lot, broke down a lot of stuff, man. Got to some layers and some topics in boxing, man. Salute to everyone that tuned in, man, for sure. I will be live Sunday. I would say this. I will be live Sunday. But I'm gonna be live twice, but not for boxing though. For the second live though, we're gonna be talking NFL on the second live. But I will be live Sunday talking boxing and recapping the fights from Saturday and going over a few little topics, as we always do. 2 p.m. Sunday. We live 2 p.m. Sunday. So everybody understand and remember, we will be live talking boxing Sunday at 2 p.m. So make sure y'all remember, tune in. I'll definitely make a post on all of my socials, especially YouTube as well, just to let everybody know that we will be live 2 p.m. Sunday. That's kind of like a thing of ours right now that we've been doing. So we've been live on Sundays in the afternoon. So 2 p.m. Sunday, we will be live talking boxing, talking about the hottest topics of boxing, and recapping the Gabriela Fundora fight along with Charles Conwell and Cameron and Cameron and Whittaker. I wonder what time is that fight. Hopefully it's before I go live. I hope it is. But definitely salute to everybody, man. Hopefully everybody have a blessed day, man. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day in Cincinnati. So I'm definitely about to enjoy the day with the wife and everything, man. And salute to everybody, man. Sub up to CamJNetwork. Like and comment on the show. If you're watching on the playback, man, subscribe to CamJNetwork, man. We working. We got a lot of content on the way, man. We working, we working, we working, we working. Thanks for everybody for their support and their love. And we out of here. Salute.